Okay, this is not going to be a fancy video. I just want to get straight to the point. I am in Southern California. A lot of people have been reaching out because of the fires, and I just want to let everybody know that I am safe and really unaffected by the fires happening. I am about 100 kilometers or an hour away from the wildfire, the big wildfire in the Palisades. And besides just, seeing a haze and everything, and lots of air traffic, I guess, in the area that I'm at, I'm completely away from any of the ill effects of the fire. So cheers to that. So if you guys don't know, my name is Lisa. I live full-time in my wheelchair accessible campervan, and I spend my winters in Southern California, which is where I am right now. Yesterday, a major fire broke out around LA, and it spread so quickly. Since yesterday morning, that fire has become uncontrollable. It's 0% contained, and other fires have popped up as well. There are a lot of reasons why this fire is going off. Number one, there hasn't been any rain. I've been down here since start of November, and we had one night of like a light rain. So it's very, very dry. And then also there's something called the Santa Ana winds, which blow, and they're blowing extremely hard off these canyons that are in the mountains and areas. So there's wind gusting up to like 60 miles per hour, and that just helps, fuel the fire, spread the fire, and the embers fly. And it's devastating watching some of the footage. So this is the devastation that is occurring right now in Los Angeles. The fire's at 5,000 acres and 0% contained, and it's spreading so quickly because of the high winds. So it is pretty scary. My heart is breaking for these people that are fleeing their homes with nothing. So as I said, I am safe. I am out of the area that is in the most danger. I am in a sort of high risk area. They call it a red flag area because, it's just so dry here and fire can spread so rapidly. So I am keeping an eye on things. I'm ready to be mobile if anything does spark up here or if I need to flee. My friend Sophie Morgan, who you've seen in previous videos, just moved to LA from the UK last year, and we were hanging out yesterday at the beach, watching the sunset, having dinner, and then she drove back to her home in LA to find out that, traffic was ridiculous. The power was out at her place, traffic lights were out, and so she's not too far from the fire. So she is very much on high alert and ready to evacuate if the word comes to do so. So she is in my thoughts right now. I am safe from the fire, but there are some ill effects reaching my area, and the smoke that is being produced by these fires is spreading, and I, live in a van. I'm outside all the time. I don't want to be breathing in bad air. And so I really want to get on the road. In a few days on the weekend, some friends and I have an annual camping trip coming up in the desert, far away from where I am right now. And so I think I'm just going to head there sooner than expected, just to get away from the area that I'm in and make sure I am safe. The only caveat with that is that I am waiting on some medical supplies, and that's what is holding me up from getting away from this area. I did make a video explaining all of this previously, but I have a spinal cord injury, and that means more than that I just am paralyzed and can't walk. There's other things that affect me, and one of that is my bladder. So my bladder is essentially paralyzed, and I have to use something called a catheter to be able to go to the bathroom. I usually travel with about 6 weeks of supplies, and 2 weeks ago I ordered a resupply of these medical devices, and they still have not arrived. So this is what I use. It's called a catheter, and it's a lot like a long plastic straw. I insert that into my bladder, and that's how I empty it. I'm starting to get critically low on these. I have about 2 days worth of these catheters. Because I'm nomadic, I always have to be, planning ahead and figuring out where to get my supplies sent. So 2 weeks ago, when I ordered them, I had them sent to a post office right near me. So I've just been waiting around for this package, and I just got an alert that it finally arrived. I'm gonna go pick those up and hopefully get on the road as soon as possible. Yeah, it's a little bit windy. I can feel the van moving around a bit when there's a gust. But overall, it's not as bad as I expected. Yeah, look at that haze. So we're looking north right now, and that's the direction of the fires. You can see quite a haze in the distance. Well, this is not good, guys. When I got to the post office, they gave me this small box, and my medical supplies are large. They usually come in a very big box, a couple feet long, so the stuff that I need did not show up, and it's kind of ridiculous what they did. I'll show you. They shipped this box, and all that's in there is this tiny little thing. And I don't even really need it. That's not the critical thing that I need. This is so frustrating because this should be so easy. I mean, I had a lot of time to get this package, and this seems to happen a lot with my packages. But luckily I have another backup plan since I've only, got the ability to pee for 2 more days. I have something called an indwelling catheter. And that is a catheter that actually stays in my bladder. So I will insert it, I'll inflate a balloon so that it stays in my bladder, and then I'll just, have to plug it off, and anytime I need to go to the bathroom, I just let it drain out, but it's permanently attached to me. There is some downsides. Obviously, I have a catheter stuck in me and kind of outside my body to drain it. But also I get a greater risk of getting a bladder infection. So it's not ideal, but at least I have a plan since my supplies didn't show up. So I'll check in with you guys later once I've dealt with that, and then hopefully finally be able to get on the road. All right, I have an update for y'all. Unfortunately, it's not a good one. Last night, I inserted what's called the indwelling catheter, and that's one that will stay in my bladder, and I can empty it whenever I need to, but it just stays there. It's not a single-use one that I typically use. Typically, I just use a catheter that anytime I need to empty my bladder, I just insert it and then throw it out. So I installed this one. It was working fine, and then a few hours later, I noticed that it wouldn't drain. And I was starting to get really unwell. I was starting to break out in sweats and getting a headache, which is what happens when I can't empty my bladder in time. And so I had to remove it. And that was the only one I had. And I had to use one of my few precious single-use catheters just to empty my bladder. And so my backup plan was not working. And so I had to call a friend, and luckily he uses very similar products to what I use, and I asked him if he could be a really good friend and loan me some, and he was more than happy to do that. He's done that once before, so it's so good to know that I have friends that I can reach out to. I did speak to the medical supply company, and now they are finally shipping it. They were waiting for another thing to add to the package, but finally they just decided to ship it without the back order supply, and then it will be here in about 5 days. So Tyler's given me enough supply for about 6 days, and then if I need more, I'll actually be seeing him this weekend so I can restock if I feel like I'm pushing it too close to the package arriving. So I'm just about to meet him and get the stuff we're gonna do in exchange, and whew, such a lifesaver to be able to have friends down here that can do that for me. Yay! My savior. Well, thank you. We'll see you. Sure. We'll see you this weekend in the desert.
There's 30 in there, so if you need more, I can bring out more Saturday.
Yeah, they said now that it should arrive Tuesday, so I'll be cutting it close. But
okay.
Okay. See ya.
Okay. See you Saturday.
So yay! I got catheters that will last me a few days and hold me over until the ones I ordered finally arrive. This is realities of living with a spinal cord injury. Things become even more challenging when you live in a van and you're mobile and have to rely on shipping to different spots. Thanks to Tyler, I can breathe easy again and finally hit the long, windy road to the desert. As the miles roll by, I'm able to leave the stress of the last few days behind me. Well, it looks like I'm not the first to arrive. Looks like some other people came early. There's my friend Mike in the truck. And I think the other two might be rental trailers they've brought out for the weekend. But yeah, let the festivities begin. We've arrived and I feel 100 times lighter. The wind did start to pick up for the last half hour, but also my van got a little destroyed on that windy road. Hot dogs on the floor, my egg carton fell out, hats everywhere. I think my fridge door must have flown open. Time to put this place back together. And I did lose 5 eggs. The ones on the left are cracked. The 5 on the right are good, so at least I have some to get me through the weekend. All right, I've made it. Beautiful view here in the desert. Got my friend John in his tent. A couple others are starting to arrive already. I thought I'd be one of the only few people here arriving early, but that's exciting. And yeah, just a beautiful view in the desert. So I feel like 10,000 pounds have been lifted off my shoulders now that I'm out here. I'm settled, and I can't wait to see some more friends roll in over the next couple of days. Over here making waffles, and there's so much going on right now. That truck with the trailer got stuck. That guy in the electric scooter went to go look. He got stuck. We got people paragliding over there. These guys are about to go off-roading in side-by-sides. And it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. We have another vehicle stuck. That front wheel is in there. It's a Tesla, and apparently it has all-wheel drive, so he's gonna try to get himself out. Let's go, Todd, you can do it. No, yeah, he's got it. Back wheels are good. Yeah, yay, Tesla! Go Elon! Okay, so I know I'm not good at multitasking, and this is a perfect example because I just poured my smoothie mix into the waffle iron instead of the waffle mix because we were busy chatting, and that's a disaster. I don't think that's gonna taste very well. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, not my finest moment. I've been chatting with my friend Sophie, who lives in LA, and she did decide to evacuate. Another fire started even closer to her, and the air quality was getting really bad. I invited her to come out here because last year at this big weekend she actually came out and shared the van. I made a little bunk bed situation for her, but I think she just wants to stay closer to home. I also heard that another friend that I surf with actually lost everything. She didn't get a chance to even return to her house once the fire started, and yeah, her entire house is gone, as well as her wheelchair and some extra surfboards. So that's devastating. Like, not only to lose everything, but adaptive sports equipment is so expensive and takes so long to get made and perfected. And so, man, my heart just really, really goes out to her. There's also a story of a father and a son who, didn't make it. I guess the son had cerebral palsy and was almost bedridden from the sounds of it, and they couldn't evacuate him, and the father stayed with him. So yeah, just stories like that break your heart. I think of just all the inconvenience of me having to find medical supplies and all the stress of that, but just all the people with disabilities that are evacuating, it just makes it really, really hit home to not even be able to evacuate or get back to your home with all the medical supplies or medications that you rely on. It's just devastating to hear these stories, and I'm sure more will be coming out. It almost makes me feel guilty that I'm out here in the desert having fun with my friends and I'm safe, and these people's lives are being uprooted and they're losing so much as far as their homes and possessions. So I'm just going to try to enjoy this weekend and hope I can think of some ways to help those people being affected by the fire in the coming weeks. The rest of the weekend flew by with activities like off-roading and paragliding. I will admit it felt strange to be out there, surrounded by friends and sharing laughter, and knowing that so many people back in Los Angeles are facing such unimaginable loss from the fires. It's a reminder of how fragile life can be and how important it is to appreciate moments of safety and connection. I'm so grateful for my friends, especially in times like these, for helping me out with medical supplies and for keeping my mind occupied and reminding me how to find joy even when the world feels heavy. Stay safe, everyone. Take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.